welcome back to Blue Zone Homestead. Today I am tackling the tunnel. So just a general tidy up the tomato plants. The summer is finally here, so we are getting a lovely sunshine. The polytunnel is getting really warm. Later on we are going to pop to the kitchen and I'm going to flavor some homemade yogurt and we are going to prep dinner. So if you're interested, you are welcome. And let's go and watch the vlog. We managed to harvest a small crop of the tomatoes. So we did have a couple, but this is my biggest harvest so far. Even though it's only a handful, this is gonna be the most precious breakfast. So let me show you around, and I gotta get going now because I need to do the chores, feed the animals, make breakfast. But yeah, it feels so good to done this job today. So we can walk all the way around the polytunnel. I really enjoy our yogurt and I come up with more and more different flavors and ideas how I make these homemade yogurts. Today we are going to flavor some with raspberry and chocolate chip. To this, I'm gonna add some of the leftover ingredients. Dinner turned out so delicious. So the way I tidy up the tomato plants, couple of times a week, I would say 2 to 3 times a week, I do a maintenance. What I mean by that, I go out and check whether any leaves needs removing, suckers, whether the stem needs turning around on a string, and just a general maintenance. Make sure our plants is super supported, because now we are starting to have lots of tomatoes and they are quite heavy. So from now on, my job is to make sure they are supported real well. So I really enjoy looking after the tomato plants and just admiring them, just walk around and see how well they're doing, see if they are started turning, ripening, and just, I love the tomato leaf smell. So when I just do this maintenance, and absolutely love how my fingers smell afterwards. But yeah, so that's gonna be a job for the next couple of months. Week by week now, I'm going to remove more and more leaves. So just twist the string around it really gentle. Try to not to snip it or break it. But yeah, just very gently. Just to turn it around like that. And that's it. Most of the time now I start with the lower leaves. So the trusses come from the bottom. That's where they start, growing first, the tomatoes, and then ripening. And as we go higher and higher, that's when more and more flowers we're gonna have. And then when it reaches usually the top of my polytunnel, then I just I chop their heads off. What I mean by that, I just then chop the tomato, and whatever is on that, whatever trusses on that, whatever tomatoes, I'm just happy with it. And I know from that moment I probably have got another 2 to 3 months, and the tomatoes will need that in my climate to get to their full size and to ripen. And I'm just harvesting the first tomatoes, and it's so exciting moments. Well, I'll I did do a really good job on tidy up the tunnel, weeding all around the paths, especially on the both sides. The fern, although it looks amazing, but it was just too much now and I couldn't even walk around. So I've decided on this morning to tackle it, and I have really done a good job. I was really happy that this job is done, and it didn't get wasted, so everything I removed, weeded out, all ended up chopped up and ended up on our compost. Also used few leaves of the fern because it's so pretty as in our flower arrangement, in a flower bouquet. An hour later and it's still early morning. It feels such an accomplishment to tidy up the polytunnel. It is a cloudy day. It's a perfect time to do it. So I worked really hard to get back the path so we can walk around the raised beds. I show you around in a minute. Like before, I just couldn't. The fern, the nasturtium, poppies and all sorts just been taking over all my pathway, especially in a two side and a back way. So in a big middle path now, it's full of weed. I'm gonna get the wheelbarrow, I'm gonna take all this and lasagna it in a compost area, and yeah, we managed to harvest a small crop of the tomatoes. So we did have a couple, but this is my biggest harvest so far. Even though it's only a handful, this is gonna be the most precious breakfast. So let me show you around, and I gotta get going now because I need to do the chores, feed the animals, make breakfast. But yeah, it feels so good to done this job today. Over here, all along this middle path is the one what I weeded out. And if you go this way, these are the pathway around the raised beds. So I've still got a little bit left, but I can now easily walk through. So compare what it was, this is now amazingly walkable. So we can walk around and path in here, and we're gonna get the same in the other side, so we can walk all the way around the polytunnel. I've also tidied up the tomato plants, so I'm using this string method, and I'm just putting the string around the stem, and I am taking the suckers out as well. It is looking nice and neat. I am very happy, and this is our tomato harvest. Welcome to the kitchen. We are ready to flavor our homemade yogurt. So the way I do my homemade yogurt in an instant pot, super easy. I just use a half a cup or cup, it depends how much milk I use from our goat's milk from our previous batch, and mix it together, the yogurt from last week's yogurt with our fresh goat's milk, and just turn the machine on, and within 8 hours we've got amazing delicious homemade yogurt, what I usually leave to chill or set overnight in a fridge, and the next day I make our yogurt. So I sweeten it with condensed milk or honey, jam. Today I am using also oat, muesli oat, and make it like a nice breakfast yogurt. Actually, I've started doing this for a good few weeks now, and we really enjoy it. little bit of chocolate chip, and mix it all together. And in the end, I'm gonna have a taste test, and if I'm happy with the flavor, then I'm just going to pour this to those little jars next to me, and it usually lasts up to a week and tastes delicious. So I do it weekly. Ready to fill the jars? Delicious. Since then I have done another one. We've been to town and I've done a little shopping, so I bought a few bananas, so I put some bananas in the next one. And I had received a jam from my friend, so I've used that jam up as well, and it was absolutely delicious. Also, we've done another honey harvest since, and I just drizzled some honey over as well, and honestly it was so good, absolutely delicious. Just measuring it out. I always make sure I leave some yogurt behind, so I can, as a starter, so I can do my next batch for next week. Also, what I do, I usually use about 2 liters of milk a week for yogurt, so I make about 2 to 2.2 liters of yogurt, and I use 1.5 up for our yogurt for both of us. I leave a little bit behind, unflavored, for the next batch, and whatever is left, I usually just strain it, and I make a beautiful sour cream with it. So there's so many products I've got out of that yogurt, and then the sour cream, obviously we can use it up in flavoring or cooking with, or whatever you need the sour cream with. I'm going to cook in an instant pot meal today again. So I have marinated yesterday the chicken breast in all sorts in there, you know, curry, ginger, all sorts of spice I found in a cupboard. You know what I'm like. Excuse me. So I'm going to put this in a pot like that. To this, I'm gonna add some of the leftover ingredients of the chicken pot dinner from earlier in the week, what we've made. Just a little bit more for flavouring. Okay, also I'm going to add some runner beans in there. I've just harvested from the garden. And I've got few jars from the pantry because you really need to use up things from the pantry. So I've got salsa verde chicken, I've got tomatillo salsa and another tomatillo salsa, so 2 small jars. I'm just taking the 2 ends off, just cut the rest in. And I've also harvested some peas, so I'm going to put these peas and just chop them all in. And I'm going to pressure can this meal today. Oh, it smells gorgeous still. Salsa verde is so good. I'm in the mix so much thing today. Hope it's gonna turn out good. Alright. The rest of the runner beans and the peas, and I'm just literally going to turn on the instant pot. I'm going to pressure cook the whole thing. Hey, what's up, Mika? Do you want to try this? You see? I think so they like it. I know Sandy likes peas actually. Sandy loves
Oh, sweetie, I know you love peas. You love peas, don't you, my sweetie? Oh, we go. Nice. You can try to open this for me, please.
Solution. Hello, friends.
Dinner's ready. I'm just serving up. It really turned out delicious, absolutely gorgeous. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me today. And see you very soon. Bye, friends.